return to Whitestone. You turned in your quest to Keeper Yenin, who thanked you and paid you a pretty large sum of coin. So you guys are pretty flush at the moment. You shared everything that you learned about Captain Whitemane and what was going on up there. And hey, Dom, can you mute for a sec? Sorry.
I don't know if it was stress at the beginning or if it was like.
Thanks. And so you imparted everything you learned about what was going on up there, what appeared to be going on based on the mushrooms that you found, and you provided him with a sample so that they could do their own investigation. You were paid. You made your way to a tavern for the night. No worries. You made your way to an inn and tavern near the Suntree Square, where you guys got a well-earned night of rest in an actual bed, so that you weren't, completely exhausted after your long, tumultuous journey. You all woke up in the morning, found yourself to a magic shop where you spent some of your hard-earned coin on some new magical weapons, some other, getting some certain items that you found identified, and upon finishing that, you kind of come out. You come outside of the. You come out of the magic shop, standing in the middle of the square in the mid morning. As the businesses are starting to get picked up and everything, and you kind of look around and realize that, technically speaking, this job has been done for like a day and a half now, and you're all still together as you all kind of stand there and look at each other.
Huh. Well, that was fun.
Awkward.
So, y'all want to keep doing this? Because that was a lot of money, and I like making money, so.
Do you have another contract awaiting you?
I mean, no, not really. I was going to head either to Stillben or Amon. Honestly, I'm looking for somebody, so I'm trying to find them. But other than that, I don't got anything.
Is that
Thomas looks a
somebody
bit
we found
interested
in
at the
Stoughton?
mention of who art thou trying to seek?
A father figure of sorts.
Oh, family.
Right,
Noble endeavor?
Yeah, something like that.
Do you have a clue of their whereabouts?
Not a clue.
So how come you're looking for Iman or Stoughton?
Last I saw him was on a ship outside of Whitestone. He's not here. Maybe he caught a ship somewhere else.
Fair point. I would just like to take the time here in Whitestone to hopefully get an acquaintance with the realms here as Kill.
I mean, I'm in no rush, but, if y'all want to... it's pretty dangerous to even get to Stillben, with the forest there, Be kind of nice to travel together and, make money. Money's always good.
Do you feel that we have enough coin to...
What?
Or should we try and see if they have a job board or something posted?
A job board?
Oh, that's where you go and you find random stuff to do and they pay you to do it.
Fike is slowly backing away and just kind of
trying to figure out where the Temple of Sarenrae would be at this moment.
It's not that far from where you are. It's a smaller temple. Let me pull the.
Just trying to figure out.
It's not very far from where you are. You guys came out of the big tavern in the middle of the square around surrounding the Sun Tree. There's a small temple to Sarenrae in a small building on the opposite side of the square.
All right. So are we staying together or?
I mean, I'd like to. You guys are kind of cool.
All right. Well, I'm going to the Temple of Sarenrae if anybody needs me, because I guess we're friends now. And I'm just gonna slowly start backing away and go, whoop.
As he walks
Odd
away,
clergyman.
yeah, as he walks away, I go, you didn't need to make it that awkward.
Yes, I did. Stealth.
Roll stealth.
Where is it?
21. What's your passive perception? Does anybody have a passive perception of 21 or higher?
Yes.
Probably not. So, you watch as Father Fike disappears into a crowd, and as a few people kind of like cross to break your vision of him, he just vanishes into the crowd.
Assassin's Creed style, just.
Yep. Essentially.
Like he slowly morphs into the crowd and just disappears.
Yep.
I love that scene.
Fade away.
What have we got ourselves into?
I don't know, but that was really freaking cool.
We shall see if we can find him again later on.
You guys still have your rooms at the tavern, so.
Day drinking, anyone?
Can I, actually, I guess going back to last session, so knowing that I can have someone else cast something in the staff, can I ask the lady to pay her to cast Identify into the staff?
You could, yeah.
Alright, yeah, so I guess oh, I just realized something, and I turn around and walk back into the store.
Follow me.
Try to find the lady.
Was there something you forgot?
Yes, indeed. I was wondering if I could have you help me out on a predetermined commission, so to say, and I could have you cast your magic into the residuum of the White Man's Rod, so I could have it for later use. I will, of course, be paying you, and if you desire so, pay an extra convenience fee.
What spell is it that you would like me to cast into the rod?
The same you used on the rod itself, to be able to identify objects.
Just one? So I'm not. She kind of. She takes the rod, remembers having cast Identify on it, remembers how it works, and she says, "How many castings would you like me to put in?"
Twice would be very great, my fair lady.
Okay, 50 gold pieces.
Very well.
And
50 each, or because
no,
I think last time.
total.
Okay.
25 each.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll gladly pay her.
So, thank you. And she expends the slots this time, not casting it ritually, but expends the slots as she would have to. So you watch as so the crystal kind of comes up to this like three-pointed fork almost, and the left and right fork of the crystal light up and are now glowing and pulsing with a green glow to them, as there are 2 levels of spells inside the staff.
My thanks to you, my fair lady. I am in your debt.
Actually, you're not in my debt. You already paid, so.
That is a fair point. I shall take my leave now.
Gratana will like watch
have a
him
good day.
leave and follow him and just smirk to herself and shake her head.
Yeah.
So yeah, out of character.
Mhm.
I'm cool with whatever you guys do. I don't really have anything to do here, so pretty much Noxus is just going to be like, yeah, let's go do something.
All right. So you just say I'll be hanging out at the tavern when you guys are ready to leave.
Pretty much. I mean, or he's just hanging out with them. Whatever they got to do, he's just around. You know, it's just
following around.
Yeah,
All right.
he doesn't really have anything like pressing that he needs to do.
Chilling,
Here, so-
hanging out.
Yeah.
All right.
A real
So we know.
Scanlan backstory right there.
Yeah, Scanlan backstory. Fike. So we know Fike goes off to hang out to go visit the Temple of Serenray. What does anybody else have any business they wanted to take care of?
I mean,
We can only help each other out.
did say I was gonna try and find that job board.
Okay. It would be right here in the middle of the square.
Okay.
Anybody else doing anything? I know Shango, you said you were this morning. You were supposed to meet up with Keeper Yenin. He said he was going to try and get you an audience with.
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I was gonna.
Realmseer.
There was that day, not the next day, right? Because we already had the night. Or,
Yeah. So he told you last night or yesterday that he would try to arrange a meeting with you and the Realmseer for today around
Yeah.
noon.
okay.
And you guys went and all crashed together at the tavern, the inn, and then woke up in the morning and decided you had some time to kill. So everybody said, "Let's go to the magic store, and we'll spend some of our money." And then everything else that happened at the beginning of this session.
Gotcha. Yeah. So once time for that, I will head there.
Okay.
I actually thought of something Noxus could do.
Okay.
Are the pirates? Have they all been executed? The ones that came and turned themselves in?
No, they're not. They're in the prison. They're served.
Okay.
They did not commit capital offenses.
Okay. Then he would like to go talk to them.
You do not have access to them. They are in prison.
Well, I guess he wanted okay.
Like, find someone to punch so I can go to prison.
No, I want to be able to get out. I guess he would at least try to attempt to go talk to them then. Unless if he would know that he is not able to at all.
Well, you'd already talked to them previously before you went on the mission.
I'm
given
talking about
access
the
to
one
them.
oh I was going to go down and talk to the ones in the prison. We didn't get to talk to them.
That was the ones that you talked to before you left for the mission.
Oh, we did talk to them. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
All right. So we'll start with Father Fike. You make your way across the courtyard. Excuse me. You make your way across the courtyard, headed to the Temple of Serenray. And as you make your way across, you notice the sun tree as the namesake of the square here. It has the very much kind of like almost like the tree of Gondor, like a white bark to it. And as you walk by, you can see the beginnings of the first blooms to be starting to appear on the ends of the branches. Knowing the winter months are starting to break and spring is sprung and right around the corner. As you find yourself across the courtyard, you make your way into a modest wooden structure made of a reddish cherry wood. As you come through the open doors, you find yourself inside a modest temple, a few parishioners, a couple, a priest standing at the front, cleaning the holy symbol of Sarenrae at the head of the temple. And what would you like to do?
I'm gonna cry a little bit because it's beautiful, and the music's making me emotional in real life. um, Dressed are they similar to me, or are they? Is their garb completely different than me?
It's simple garb. Whitestone's not it's a technologically advanced town, but it's not a huge city. And it's the theme of this temple to Sarenrae very much fits in with the rustic, sort of almost Adirondacky northern woods kind of aesthetic that the town has. Um, there's the outside was made of wood with white stone shingles on the roof. A couple of lines of smoke coming up from the top, probably a couple of fireplaces inside, wooden benches on the inside, slightly raised dais for parishioners, a little altar with a golden statue, and that looks very similar to your dagger in the symbol of Sarenrae. A little bit more elaborate, but looks like it's made out of a solid piece of gold. And there is a man, a younger man in his probably mid or early 20s, though he looks even younger, wearing priestly robes, who is currently shining the holy symbol. And there's a couple parishioners kind of like kneeling at a side, like in the pews, just saying silent prayers to themselves.
I guess I go bother the guy who's cleaning.
All right. So you walk up. So, like I said, a younger gentleman, probably in his mid-20s, but looks even younger. Rusty brown hair, baby-faced, smooth as, probably doesn't even have to shave yet. But as you get closer, I'd like you to make a quick religion check for me. 9. All right. As you get closer, he kind of turns and has you can see he has soft almond-shaped eyes, brown in color, but a gentle and caring face as he kind of looks at you and says, "What brings you to the House of Redemption?"
I've I've walked from Iman, if that's believable, to come here and marvel at this place.
Marvel is not, I'm sure, the word that you're probably looking for, but it is a special temple. Started by the Everlight's chosen, Pike Trickfoot.
Is Pike here?
She often is not. She makes her residence in Western, but is oft called away on business. She tries to visit as often as she can. I keep this place in her stead.
Oh, sorry, my manners. I'm Vander Fike, of Sarenrae. It's nice to meet you. And you are?
My name is Jacob. Father Jacob.
Father Jacob. It's a pleasure.
You say you've walked all the way from Amman. That's quite a journey.
It's I met a descendant of Pike, and she said that the journey to redemption starts with 1,000 steps, but one. So I made my way here. So here I am.
Taking things literally, then I guess.
Yeah, I'm like nervously laughing. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
At this point, you watch as a even younger halfling female comes jogging up and says, "Father Jacob," and he bends down and says, "Yes, what is it, Daisy?" And she says, "Well, Reginald's come back again. I'm afraid there's bad news. The shipment uh, of fresh fish from Drina has not come again." And he says, "Again? What do you mean?" He turns to you, Fike, and says, "Just a second." He turns back to Daisy and says, "Tell him to wait. I'll be right there. Um, this is the third time in as many months as it hasn't shown up. Uh, I'll be right there, Daisy." And she turns and runs back off. And he says, "I'm sorry. Was there something else I could help you with?"
It seems like now there's something I can help you with. I kind of have a group of friends that we do odd jobs for now. If we could investigate this, if you want.
Really?
Yeah, or kind of like a ragtag group of friends, but yeah, why not? We got nothing better to do. And
Interesting.
serving the Everlight is always a good thing.
Well, it's not necessarily serving the Everlight. One of the things that this isn't a huge temple and it doesn't take up all of my time. So one of the other things I do is I help run a general food store in town, and we often get dried and salted fish, freshwater fish from the village of Drina, which is on the coast of Morin Lake. But apparently, there's been some political unrest and which is weird to say in such a small town. But there's been the last 3 shipments have been delayed because of this, and I've offered to go down to help mediate things, but they keep saying no, they can handle things on their own.
Well, you keep a fine temple here that I might, I'd be honored for you to allow me to speak in your stead and right this wrong, and maybe prove myself a little bit more in the Everlight's grace.
He kind of smiles, not expecting such, generous kindness, from a stranger he's literally just met. And he says, "I would very much appreciate if you could handle something like that. I am not one to turn away the assistance of someone who follows the Everlight." As she says, "Lead with mercy, patience, and compassion, and inspire others to unite in fellowship."
I'm
And
getting to it. That's what I'm going for.
I can see that. Perhaps I can offer some sort of offer, something I can give in return. Um, uh, Perhaps he says, there is a method of which Lady Pike said I could contact her in case of emergencies. Perhaps if you did this for us and she has yet to return, I could get a message to her for you.
That would be very nice.
Very good. Perhaps, yes. He says, he kind of grasps his holy symbol and holds out his hand and says a quick prayer to Saren Ray. And you watch as your holy symbol begins to just pulse with ever so slightly with a radiant light. And he says, a blessing for your generosity, sir.
Thank you. Only hope to make myself worthy of it.
I'm sure you will. A man with such noble intention leads to noble deeds.
Thank you.
With that, we will hop over to Sao.
Yow.
Sao. Ow. So you make your way over to a different side of the... Oh, we're not in the temple anymore. Sorry. Where are we? There we go. You make your way over to the jobs board, but as you approach, you can see it's pretty bare. There's lots of like what looks like things like tacks or nails that were pounded in, but all the paper that was nailed in looks like it's been ripped off of the nails. So there's just like the little corners that the nails were holding that are left. But as you look it up and down, there's as you look it up and down, there's really nothing there to except for one poster. And as you walk up and approach it, you watch as one of the Pale Guard rips it off, and you recognize it as the job posting from the job you've just completed. And he says, "Oh, you're one of those that took care of Whitemane, are you?" Sao? Buddy?
It's not muted.
No, Whitemane took care of him. No.
He's not in Discord.
He is in Discord.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. We'll come back to him. Shango, you had an appointment with Keeper Yenin, who said he would try to make an arrangement for you to meet Eskel.
Yep.
And you make your way back up to Whitestone Castle around midday. Noxus, did you say you were sticking with them?
Yes.
Okay.
On the way up to the castle, I'm going to the White Man's Rod and show it to Katanas. Katanas, have you seen any runes like these before?
What was he showing? Sorry, you cut out a little bit for me.
The rod, the White Man's Rod. And it had like ancient runes over it that I didn't recognize.
So you can look at it. would she recognize that?
Yeah, it's essentially the common that you remember. It's ancient common that was just lost to the the eons. No one can it's a dead language except that you are one of the few people who actually was around when it was being used.
I'm surprised she didn't recognize that before, but Cortandos will look it over and oh, 'tis simply common, my lord. Canst thou not read it?
I cannot. You understand this, Prince? That is certainly. You sure about that?
It is most simple, and she'll just start reading it off.
Yeah, it's just the same phrase over and over again. It just says, there's not really. It basically just over and over again says, because there's three rows of vertical runes that go from the top to the bottom that go around the circle of part of the cylindrical part of the cane, the shaft, and all the way down it just says arcane storage. It's really it's quite simple. All three of them say arcane storage.
Oh, forgive me if I wouldst have looked at it before. I couldst have told thee. It simply says arcane storage. 'Tis the most basic expression of what such a thing wouldst do.
There's nothing to forgive. I am surprised by the. It does not give you any hints as to its origins, does it?
No.
None that I would know, my lord.
Such magical artifacts were commonplace in your time. In the Age of Arcanum, magic was used like it's like how we.
Oh yeah, that's why she wasn't surprised at all about the whole thing about like a big tower just coming up.
Yeah, like to you, like
this is a child's toy, possibly.
Yeah, it's like an iPhone for you. Like that's just like a thing that people have. Like it's weird. You're thousands of years into the future, but it's like they're
also spoilers.
Well,
I didn't hear it.
Sorry, but it's like the technology levels, air quotes, our magic level is regressed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah, but anyway, you guys make it to the front gates. The guards recognize you and let you in, and you see Erdan. Are you with them as well, or?
Yeah, yes.
So the four of you come in, and you see Keeper Yenin standing there waiting for you, and he says, "Ah, yes. Well, here's the thing. Keeper, or the Realm Seer, he's very particular with his time. I was able to get you a few minutes with his assistant.
Understandably so.
From what
Good.
I saw.
Ew. Not even. Didn't even make it to the big show.
He is been obsessed, to be honest, and be quite frank with you. He is in his later years become, in my opinion, unhealthily obsessed in his study of a excavation or an ancient excavation from beneath the that was uncovered beneath the castle. He's been trying to understand it for years. It has always eluded him, and I believe in his old age it is the last mystery he has yet to figure out, and is become obsessed is the only word I can think of.
Katana looks really curious about the whole excavation aspect, but looks over to Shango. Well, I suppose an assistant would still at least be of magical background enough to assist thee, perhaps, my lord?
Sure, sure. It is better than no one, and it is understandable. The man who roams here himself does not necessarily have time to see as lowly a mage as myself. Tell me, Keeper Yenin, can you tell us more about this excavation?
Well, I mean, there are certain things that we don't talk about to too many people, but essentially, several decades ago now, decades ago, Whitestone was run by the Derolo family. They were the local lords that looked over the city. One night, a pair of traveling, what we thought were nobles from a distant land, found their way here in a storm and were seeking shelter. And the Derolos took them in, but apparently it was all a ruse. And there was a terribly bloody coup, where the Lord and Lady Briarwood, the evildoers, slew the vast majority of the Derolo family and took residence in Castle Whitestone and lordship over the lands of Whitestone.
The moment he says coup, Cortanas gets really uncomfortable.
They began excavation through the mausoleum of an ancient temple that we call the Ziggurat. A huge pyramid in an underground chamber underneath the city, where they first began the process of creating residuum. Breaking down Whitestone to its most purest essence, and he kind of gestures towards your new cane, Shango.
So these Briarwoods are the inventors of Residuum?
The process was already known to those in Whitestone. They figured out how to produce it en masse.
And I presume the Briarwoods foray has relation to your apprehension against necromancy?
Well, Lord Briarwood being a vampire, and Lady Briarwood being a necromancer, and the undead armies and giants that were at their command during their evil reign, I'm sure you can understand why we have the view we have of such magics here in Whitestone.
Would Shango know about that?
Yeah, this is not a story that's unfamiliar to you.
Okay.
Cortanas looks surprised, though.
He says, the reason they were producing so much residuum is, as I'm sure you might be aware, residuum can be used in replacement of expensive magical components for magical spells, and there was a ritual they were attempting to perform atop this ziggurat that they had uncovered, which they used the residuum as replacement for the rather expensive material components they would have otherwise needed. And there were certain effects that the ziggurat gives off that we still don't understand to this day, and that is why Eskel has fallen feet first into his obsession.
Most curious. I thank you for generous sharing of this. Shall we go see the assistant?
He gestures over to the gentleman that you now just noticed was standing next to him the whole time. As he says, "This is Realmseer Eskil Ryandarian's assistant, Drin."
Pleased to meet
I'm
you.
blanking on the actual character's name from the show because it's not in the campaign setting, and I didn't have time to go back and check the episodes to see what it was.
Well, shall be Drin now. With a slight bow. Slight bow. Greetings, you Drin.
He says, "Thank you. What business is it that you wish to discuss with my master?"
I am on a journey to vasten my knowledge about the arcane, and I was hoping to get to talk to Eskil, the Arcana Pansophical, and his expertise, potentially specifically relating to the elemental planes.
Realmseer Eskil Ryandarian is no longer Pansophical. He grew tired of the politics and squabbling and decided to spend the rest of his days in pursuit of his own interests.
Certainly has changed.
However, I have been instructed to provide you with this information. Should you like an audience with the Realmseer, he will grant it if you can perform a service for him.
What would that service be, Drin?
He has been pouring himself into his research of the ziggurat and has been expecting assistance of a practitioner of natural magics that was traveling to here from far to the west. However, they are now at this point days overdue, and if you are to be traveling the road west out of Whitestone towards the Turst Fields, the road that runs along the Parchwood, I would imagine that you could look into things.
We shall certainly keep our eyes open.
And if you can come back with information as to their whereabouts, or with them in particular, we will be. I've been instructed that I can grant you an audience with the Realmseer.
It would be my honor to Realmseer Eskil. Certainly, that we can keep an eye out for this practitioner. How would we recognize it? Him? Her?
Her. She is of half-orc descendants. She hails from a tribe far to the west that migrates across the plains of migrates across the dividing plains along the Silvercut roadway. The tribe is known as the Rivermaw.
Are there any outstanding features of this half practitioner?
He takes out like a small parchment and draws a symbol on it, and he says, "You can recognize members of the Rivermaw tribe by this symbol," and he holds it out to you. It looks like a rapid river running through a crescent moon. And he says, "This is awfully far from the lands that they usually roam, so finding anyone that fits this description with this symbol on them would almost certainly have to be the person we're looking for."
My thanks to you, Sir. We shall see what we can do.
Thank you very much. And he turns on a heel. And,
Master Drin, if I may. Looking a bit apologetically to Shango and then back.
Yeah, he says, "Yes."
Forgive me, this may be a bit of an odd question, but art thou knowledgeable in languages?
I can speak more than a few languages. Why do you ask?
Simple curiosity, canst thou read the common on my lord's cane?
I hold up the cane to him to show it.
He looks at you like, what kind of a question is that? Of course I can't read that gibberish. He goes, there are less languages that I am not familiar with than there are languages that I am familiar with. And this looks like ancient runes, a language that has probably been lost for eons.
Eons? How
The
long,
only
if
way
I may
one
ask?
could possibly understand this would be with some sort of a comprehend languages spell, and even then, it would only translate it into a language that you could understand.
She looks really confused. Eons. Doth thou have an estimate of time? Perhaps how many?
Thousands of years,
All right.
probably from the age of Arcanum.
I have heard a bit of this. Oh, forgive me, 'twas a strange question. She'll kind of like bow her head, thank thee.
Indeed.
Can DM question? How much can Shango piece together from like what I can as a player for Katanas' background? I mean, I've heard you like mention a couple of things, so I know more than Shango would, I guess.
Roll a history check. 16. I mean, you know of the Age of Arcanum. It's ancient history. It's the Exandria has had essentially 3 ages. Previously, you are in what is considered the 4th age. Essentially, the 4th age started with the defeat of Vecna. And Vox Machina locking him beyond the Divine Gate. So this is the 4th age. It is the first time an age has turned over where it wasn't preceded by essentially the destruction of civilization and everyone retreating back to Vasselheim and then starting from there again and branching back out into the world. The Age of Arcanum was the second age. I'm sorry, the Age of Arcanum was the second age, yeah. Was the second age that led into the Calamity. That post-Calamity was the third age, which was the age that was between post-Calamity to the defeat of Vecna. Was the third age.
Right. I'll look around to the group, so we have Nox and Nerdan and Katana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shall we head back to the town?
Of course, my lord.
You back, Sayal?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So I don't know what you caught and didn't catch, but upon getting to the job board, like I said, the last post you see on there is the job that you literally just completed, and you watch as one of the Pale Guard rips it down and says, "Oh, sorry. You took care of the last bit of work that we needed."
Oh, God. You guys got no other problems?
It's not a big town. We can handle things. We're not helpless, you know.
All righty.
Yeah. Townsguard usually don't like adventurers. They tend to cause problems and steal their thunder. But anyway, we'll say that you all up back at the tavern at a predetermined time that you had all decided upon before running away from each other.
Aye, aye. I'm guessing we're actually at the tavern now.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, that was fun. So,
Sao. He just kind of gives you a grumbles under his breath, like, "Yeah, I could have handled it, but I'm not allowed to leave the city." But anyway, you all meet back up in the tavern a little bit after midday.
Father Fike, you did you find anything out?
I've kind of sort of got a pay list I would like to do that might lead to money.
Well, we're not doing anything. Always willing money.
Well, we're if you guys would like, because I believe it's just mostly a diplomatic mission, but Drenna's got a supply line that comes over here to Whitestone that does not has been making its destination, and it seems like a political matter of some sort that we asked to sort out, or just out of the kindness of our hearts, for no coin, because we're nice people, right?
I mean, I would definitely like to think so. Yeah.
And we're going to Drenna, which is on the water, like you wanted. So maybe your friend is by the water.
Well, I mean, it's by a lake.
I'm trying to be convincing.
I know. I'm just saying.
The lake is water.
Lake, and there's a river to the ocean.
He said it's by the water, so he's not wrong.
He's not lying. He's not lying.
He's not lying.
I'm lying. I'm crying.
Insight check. I'm not lying. It is by water.
Ha!
Well,
Gotcha, coach.
I'm down. Better than sitting in this bar all day.
Did anybody find anything else out of worth trying to get everybody to stop looking at me?
Chance has been quiet, but she eventually speaks up. My lord hath been given a potential request for aid.
Yes. Shango comes back from the bathroom. Yes. Remsir Eskil is looking for assistance to find one of his contacts, which I believe shall be aligning with the Drenner, as there's only one way out of Whitestone, right?
There's one road out of Whitestone, yes. As you can
so-
see, it goes
Down here. Okay.
through here to the Turst Fields, and then Drenna is,
So we can make our way together at the find the practitioner. I never got a name. The practitioner of the River Moors.
Yeah, she was a practitioner of natural magics, a druid.
Yeah.
From the Rivermaw tribe. You did never get her name, no.
No, I never asked about the name. But oops.
Nope, you didn't. Was a little surprised by that, but
Yeah.
I thought they were going to say it eventually, but then didn't.
Yeah, I spaced. But I know what she looks like, and I know it's a sheep. So
Yep.
There we go.
You ask if they were trying to meet the realms here, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You've narrowed it down by 50%. Good job.
assuming half orcs are 50-50 male female. I don't know.
Assuming, yeah.
No, it's not
Who
assuming.
knows?
Assuming is wrong.
Don't put your gender norms on them, man.
You know what happens when we assume, people. No,
We make
All right, so-
assumptions.
Okay, so
it
we.
makes an ass out of you and me, Cartanis. Come on.
That's inappropriate.
That's an easy one. Yeah, see, it's inappropriate. You don't assume.
Inappropriate.
Assuming is bad.
Before I forget, sorry, Erdan, you finished your book.
Dun,
Yay.
da, da, da. It's like,
You
as he
finished-
finishes. I was gonna just say something funny.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as he finishes it, it's like that song from Zelda. Da-na-na-na-na-da-da-da-da.
What the ever living fuck was that?
I make funny noises. Sorry, I do it when I get nervous.
Okay, so if we head southish out of Whitestone, we could hit to the turf fields, and then we could just make a quick left and head to Drina. Easy peasy, 2 missions.
I like the sound of that. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone is always fun.
Oh, as long as we follow the road. I would prefer to follow the road. If we do the other thing, I don't prefer that.
That is preferable.
Sorry, you
Looks
cut
like-
out there, Dom.
I was like, that is preferable to wander along on travel.
I guess it's decided we take the road to Drina.
All right.
Are we all? All right, I'm gonna address the elephant in the room. Are we all comfortable with each other doing this?
Define comfortable.
Thomas arches the brow.
I'm doing this.
Yeah, I
Cortana-
agree with.
Cortanus gives the Spock eyebrow raise.
The
Yeah,
curt
as
brow,
Erdan.
if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with her, Dan. What is doing this? Like, I'm not getting into bed with you, Fike.
No, it's,
I don't think that's what he meant, you perv.
Listen, sometimes people think. Listen, it can happen.
So
All right.
that
What?
comment you just made about assuming, welcome
Yeah.
to
That's
the
why
ass
he was
club.
asking. That's why he was asking.
Right. That's why I asked.
all right.
Gross.
This is exactly.
Fike's hand comes up from the fist from the face palm.
This is exactly what I'm saying. Are we okay? We barely know each other, traveling together and putting each other's lives in each other's hands. That's what I'm asking.
Well, 'twould not be the first time.
Yeah, I mean, I trust you guys. I mean, you didn't let me die back there, and you didn't kind of kick me to the curb when shit hit the fan. So yeah, I trust you guys. You haven't
Me?
proved me to not trust you.
I trust all of you. I just would like Nox's tent to be at least 100 feet away from me.
I don't have a tent, so that kind of works out.
That's not tactically sound, but if that is an absolute requirement for us to travel together, I assume I will lodge next by Noxus to make sure that no man is alone.
This is where I will interject that I have used a little bit of sarcasm.
Oh,
Oh, ha, knee slapper. I think that's a good one.
it's incredibly monotone, and you need to work on it.
So long as
I've
thou
been told.
none of thee threaten my lord or his ideals, I have no problems.
Do we need to be? I think I would like to be clear on his ideals because I prefer, with all due respect, Cortanus, for you not to kill me in my sleep.
How about this?
So
How about
noted.
this? How about this? You worship who you worship. He worships who he worships. And we're all good.
You don't stab me, I don't smash you.
See, or Dan gets it. He knows.
If that's,
See?
if that is the only requirement, you are a very easy group to get along with.
Yeah, there's not mad, so we're all good.
It's not like any of you are pirates or something.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're right about that. Yeah.
Insight check.
Most certainly not.
Indeed.
Hey,
It is a good thing that you guys. That's so
Why would
true.
it be-
Oh.
Why would I be a pirate? I don't even like this.
oh, he
I
actually
don't
did
want to be a pirate.
it. He actually made an insight check. I thought he was kidding.
The DM can do what he will. I mostly did it for the laugh. But it is an 18.
Make a deception check, Noxus.
Ooh.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah, you don't say anything. You don't know anything.
You don't pick up on anything, Fike.
Come on, man.
Um.
Do
All
I
right.
believe him?
So it sounds like you guys have a plan. It's about mid-afternoon. If you want to get started right now, are you guys leaving tomorrow? Is there any
how far
provisions
would
you
we-
want to get?
And it's been in this.
I mean, we got at least 30 days of rations, or we have 30 rations, I should say. So we're good on food, and we have a bag of holding. So I don't really think there's anything we need. I mean, other than water, if you guys want to get water. I mean, unless that's included in rations.
I believe it is.
There's nothing on the way from here till a couple days,
Yeah. So,
a couple weeks, Archie.
do we know how many days it would take to get to Drina?
I'm figuring that out right now. I'm telling you. Well, first I'm going to tell you how long it would take to get to the Turst Fields, because that would be your first
Stop. Yeah, we're
So-
definitely going to stop there.
Shall we get our
So hold on.
better travel?
I'm doing math.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could always do that. Get a horse and buggy and something like that if we need to. Stupid hair.
It would take you about approximately 5 or 6 days to walk to the Turst to the Turst Fields.
If we had a buggy and like 2 horses, or like a
If you had a
horse.
cart with that was being pulled by 2 horses, it'd be about the same speed. You could just carry more stuff.
Okay.
However, if you all bought individual horses, you could cut that time down.
Probably in half almost.
Not
Or a little
quite
less.
half. Not quite half. You could cut a few days off.
A little less than a week is. I mean, we're not in a hurry, are we?
No, do we all know how to ride a horse?
I
Go
mean,
what?
you can all stay on a horse.
Okay.
When we're talking about proficiency with sea vehicles or land vehicles, we're talking about, like proficiency. Like you can, if you don't have proficiency with land vehicles, like you can still ride a horse.
Okay.
You look like someone who doesn't know how to ride a horse.
Yeah,
We're like Mikey from what is it? From Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Oh god, I remember that one.
Wow, horsey! Wow! I'm good with whatever you guys want to do. I love that movie. That
Yes,
was my
we
favorite
did talk about that. I literally walked here, so I prefer walking. I'm not sure if everybody else is cool with that, but that's my preference.
Yeah, I mean, badasses. We're all right, right?
My
Oh,
ass is bad. I have no clue what you're talking about.
Oh,
There's also upkeep. We gotta feed the horses, and then
yeah. I think we're good.
don't they think they like jerky and the rations? So that means we have to buy food and
You know what?
combs.
horses
You're a
graze,
smart one,
right?
Father Fike.
Horses do graze.
You said it's mid-afternoon, right?
Yeah, it's like 1, 2 in the afternoon.
I say we head off and see how far we can get. Sooner the better.
On the road we go.
On the road again.
So you guys are just taking off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone got anything to do? No.
Nope. I'm all good.
We have enough rations to get to the turf fields.
Yeah, we have 30 rations. Would as doing a job on like the ship and keeping inventory, I would know that 30 rations would.
You have 30 days of rations.
Okay, so that would definitely take care
for
of
one
us.
individual.
So that would.
I don't think you still have individual rations.
So.
Well, if we need more, it's easy enough to pick some up.
Yeah, so you have 6 people.
Oh, we have 5 days worth of
5
rations.
days. I thought we had like enough to get to turf fields.
Let's I will go buy some rations with the money that I've earned.
Okay.
I will buy 30 more rations.
All right. So
It'll give us 10 days.
it should, yeah, give you.
I think it was like
1 day of rations is 5 silver pieces.
yeah, I think we said it was like 5 gold. Am I right about that? 5 gold. 5 silver.
So 30
silver.
times
It'd be 3 gold.
3 gold, yeah.
Okay, so it would be 3 gold. Okay, so 3 gold. Got it. I've spent the 3 gold for the food, and I've put it in the bag of holding.
All right. You guys are just going to be sleeping under the stars, or?
Does
How
require
much are-
tents.
Okay, 1, 2. I buy 3 2-person tents.
Okay.
How much is that, my friend? I will buy all the camping gear. All the camping gear.
We can all sleep in trees.
2 gold for a tent.
2 gold for a tent, so 6 gold for all those tents.
3 2-person tents. Can't spell. Oh wait, I'm just gonna put it in something else. I'll put it in there. Okay, so we have 3 2-person tents. We have 60 rations. Anything else you guys think we need?
Don't think so.
I think that's everything.
We'll find out once we're missing it.
Yeah, I bought components last week, so I'm all good.
Each tent is 20 pounds.
I put them in the bag of holding.
Oh, you put them in the bag of holding. That's right. I forgot you guys had a...
Bag of holding's 500 pounds, correct?
Yep, I forgot you had a bag of holding.
That was like the first thing I wanted when I walked in.
Yeah, I forgot you got that. I forgot you bought that.
Oh, does anybody need any trap? I buy a bedroll, however much it is, because I actually don't have one.
You don't?
No,
Yeah, that's probably something you're gonna want.
Yeah, I buy a bedroll because I need one.
Bedroll.
Like I buy a bedroll sleeping bag type thing, like a really nice one.
Bedroll's 1 gold piece.
I'll spend 2 to make sure I get a good one.
Okay, you get the nicest bedroll they have.
Awesome.
It's like the air mattress.
An air mattress.
Yeah.
The finest of goose down.
Yes, the finest of goose down. Built-in pillow, ergonomic, memory foam. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
Bedroll whirlwind.
Sustainable.
Bedroll whirlwind. That's what it's
I
called.
didn't have any meat. Meat.
Any other stuff you guys want from the adventuring gear section? Grappling hooks or traveler's clothes or
I think we all have
lanterns, torches, hunting traps. caltrops,
Why do I have a hunting trap?
I think we're good.
rope, spyglass, whetstone.
You're just going down the list of stuff.
No, I'm just guessing stuff that I don't know.
10-foot pole,
You
1,000
want
ball bearings.
You want a 10-foot pole? They
10
have
foot 11 inch pole. It's a slight discount.
Yes.
Yay!
But I'm just asking, if you guys, because later on when you want to do certain things and you say, "Can we say that I bought this before?" and that kind of stuff. I just didn't know.
I will take a lantern.
Can we say my character is smarter than me?
Probably.
Go ahead, Father Fike.
Oh no, but we still got 6 javelins. So
I will take a lantern.
A bullseye lantern or a hooded lantern.
A hooded lantern.
So 5 gold pieces.
Okay.
Also, guys, I still have this giant cloak on that has very many useful things.
Yes, that you didn't
Very
get.
cool.
You did not get identified.
Yeah, all I know is that there's patches on here that look really cool.
Yep.
It's very cool.
I'm just waiting for someone to cast detect magic near you.
Nobody do it. The whole campaign.
Does anybody have detect magic even?
No.
I think I might. I think
It's a first level spell.
I think paladins get it.
I don't know if they do.
I think they do.
Do they?
Sure,
I think they do. They might.
Anyway, 50 feet of rope.
Hempen rope or silk rope?
Hempen rope.
So 1 gold piece.
Yep. And alright, I'll do this thing too. Look at all the gear. Oh my god, so many stuff.
So much stuff.
All that stuff.
And you sound like you guys got to worry about it. You got a bag of holding. So.
And
just
a
buy
bucket.
them out.
Just
Buy
give me a
'em out.
bucket. One bucket.
Bucket?
Yep.
1 bucket?
Yep.
5 copper pieces. For a bucket.
Are you gonna wear it as a helmet?
He has to
No,
keep
you're
out
gonna
the
shove
the
it.
mind control.
I am.
Wrap it in
I
aluminum
don't know
foil.
who played Mousetrap as a kid, but that's what's gonna happen.
Getting a what do they call those?
No idea what that even is.
Shit, what is that? Oh, the something. Fuck, what is the name of one of those things? There's a term for that.
Mousetrap.
Like an overly complicated contraption.
You're saying overly complicated. You're gonna go, huh? That's not complicated at all. Once I'm done.
Like
Anything else you guys want from the general store?
Grain.
Grain?
A Rube Goldberg machine. There you go.
I just need a few handfuls of grain. Preferably not in my hands. Preferably in a bag. But just some.
You can get a pound of wheat for a copper piece.
Perfect.
Oh,
Yeah, I put it in my bucket. Great.
there you go. You got a pound of wheat in your bucket. Pound of grain.
Just don't shit in it and try.
Hood, lamp, big ass rope.
Anything else for anyone?
Nope.
All right. So you guys, at around 3 in the afternoon, leave the gates of Western and begin traveling south. As you exit the city, almost as the city disappears from view. As a matter of fact, when you get to this sort of shot, this angle here, as you're coming up over that hill and you're disappearing behind it, it begins to rain.
Every time I feel like I get soaked to the bone, or as I get close to that moment, I will prestidigitation myself and anybody who asks.
Okay.
The moment Katrana sees him doing that, she would hold up a hand. That would be
Every
so
time.
kind.
Yeah,
I cover
and
my
every-
grain bucket. I'm making cream of wheat, guys. I'm making cream of wheat.
I cover the grain bucket. Von Trapp would be proud.
It's not a storm, but it's just a steady rain. And you watch as, though it gets you cold and wet, which is probably one of the worst combinations of things to be, you are happy, Noxus, that you spent that extra money for the waterproofed bedroll.
Nice.
I was the smart cookie.
Yes. That has a built-in prestidigitation enchantment inside of it that constantly keeps you dry.
Damn.
That
For
is
2
sweet
gold,
bedroll.
what do you mean?
It aerates.
It is
It aerates.
Yes, it does. It aerates. It is a very nice bedroll. It's an expensive bedroll.
That is a +1 bedroll for when
It
you
is
get stabbed
indeed.
in your sleep.
This is the best thing I've ever bought.
It's a +1 for when you need a +1.
Yes.
I don't care what anyone says. This is the best purchase ever.
No regrets.
None whatsoever.
Yes. But you also notice that it begins to melt away a lot of what lingering snow there is. It makes the road extremely muddy. And by the time a couple hours passes, even though you've only been traveling for a few hours and the sun's going down, you feel like you've been traveling all day.
Are we there yet? Are we there?
You are nowhere near there yet.
No, that's just what he's saying to like as we're walking. Are we there yet, Father? Father, are we there yet?
You see a town in front
No, not yet.
of us. Umbrella. Love of God, I will invent the umbrella.
Okay, all right. All you had to say was that. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're my buddy. I like you. Don't kill me in my sleep. All right.
Why does everyone think I'm gonna kill them? It's because I'm a dragonborn. It's because I think I'm gonna kill you, isn't it?
The
I think
father
it's
doth think that any of us could kill him in his sleep.
She
Not-
speaks
it
truth.
I know it's not why, but I can make some assumptions, but that would be a terrible idea, as I have learned.
Yeah. It makes you into an ass.
No one suddenly becomes a donkey from making a wrong assumption, Father.
Oh.
Donkey. What's a donkey? Oh, he's not talking about. Never mind.
I want to know what's the exact shape of the bruise on my head.
It's about the exact shape as your palm.
Okay. Cool.
What if those assumptions are made against transmutation? He could turn you into a donkey for wrong assumptions.
Please don't. Please don't. I like being a dragonborn. I don't want to be a donkey. Donkeys aren't
Tis
fun.
possible.
Is it dark yet?
It's getting there. It's getting there.
Noxus will look up. Hey, you think we should pitch it tonight? Pitch tents and whatnot. I've never been camping, so I don't know what to do.
Perhaps that would be for the best before it gets too dark for those of us who can't not see.
You basically said for the people who can't see, right? It'd be best to do that, right? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. Totally.
What?
I agree with that.
Charles looks really confused.
Yes, of course that's what I said. I said it as plain as day. I don't understand why you don't get it.
Exactly.
I got an 8 intelligence, man.
No, I know. I'm just saying that's like I'm narrating Cortanus's inner dialogue.
Yeah, she's a little confused, but then she just kind of like looks down and gets quiet again. It's been a weird day.
So as they say that, I would like to perceive an area that we may find or rest.
Well, you can go ahead and make as a matter of fact, anybody who would like to can go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh no, he's pulling the book out. I can see you over there, Bill. I see you.
I see you there.
Hey, you.
Cortana sees everything.
Cortana sees through time and space.
She sees a bunch of nerdy ass voice actors playing
hell.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, exactly. You have a vision of deities moving minis around on the table that look just like you, Cortanus. And these deities wear strange clothing and are surrounded by strange technology.
So once again, nothing too far out of the ordinary for what's happened so far.
It's just another day.
Yeah, right. As a matter of fact, you don't have to look very hard or far. As you come to what is almost like a J hook in the road, there's actually what looks like a small kind of like little camping area looks like it may be commonly used by people leaving and coming into the city. It's almost like it's set up at a spot where people who are just far enough outside the city to not make it back by nightfall can set up. But you're all able to get a small fire going. There appears to be some old ruins of a wall that are bare, like that look like they might be older than you are, Cortanus.
But we don't know
roasted.
You know I love you.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. She's probably younger than some of you.
Probably.
No one knows. Look at that, tents.
You set up your tents.
They be set up. Yeah.
I would like to do something before I go to bed.
Sure.
Besides figure out a watch order.
Yes, it's very specific. I would like to find a stick roughly 4 inches in length with a fork on the end.
Make an investigation check.
Oh, I'm going to be good at this.
You're human, right?
Half elf.
Half elf. All right, never mind. Go ahead.
Investigation.
You look and look and look. But apparently every single stick that's on the ground, that would have been on the ground, has been gathered and already used for kindling.
Mother pumper wagon.
I throw a stick in the fire that has about 5 inches.
Like as you come back to the camp,
Wait!
you watch as Shango snaps about a 10-inch stick over his knee that has that little fork on the end, and you're like, "Oh, perfect!" And as you're about to say, "Hey, can I have that?" he's already tossed it into the fire.
It went wrong.
You guys
Maybe we
watch
found
as
non-wet kindling, my lord.
Father Fike comes back up to the campfire, sopping wet. Just looks like he just climbed out of the pool. And he has these like red marks on the bridge of his nose. It looks like from intense rubbing.
Aren't thou all right, father?
Very quietly, I'm just going to go. I enjoy the rain. Nice.
Enjoy the rain.
As long as thou doth enjoy it.
Right.
I knew I was but I totally forgot. Oh well.
Noxus, I am most curious about your...
You're curious about me?
Yes, you had your shirt looked at earlier by the fair lady in the shop.
No, I didn't.
Did you not?
No, she didn't look at my cloak. I just thought it had a bunch of patches. I didn't know.
No, your sword, not your cloak.
Oh, my sword. Well, yeah. I wanted to see if there's anything special.
And it is not?
I mean, she says that, I kind of woke up on the beach and it was there. Kind of funny. I didn't go on the ship with one, and I definitely didn't leave with one. And I've never seen it before. It just, it was weird. So I thought it might be magical, and I can kind of make it appear and reappear. And
So
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
it dissipates and reforms, yet it is not magical.
I mean, I guess that's what she said. Kind of weird. You would think
Indeed.
it's magical.
I would think it would be of magical nature, considering it can, I presume, leave this plane.
Yeah, I kind of just think about it and it just appears, that's about it. And, and I imagine it and I see it and I see it in my hand and there it is.
Did she say it was magical, or it was not magical, or simply a type of magic she did not understand?
Would I recall what she said at all?
She said, as far as she could tell, it's not magical. She understands that it was obviously doing magical things, but she was under the assumption that you were the one creating the magic, not the sword.
What she said. It basically, he just reiterates what that back.
Okay. So you're merely projecting your own arcane ability.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I've never been a magic user. My dad was my real dad was he was a knight. But he never used magic. So I
Knight?
never really.
And your fake dad, in contrast to your real dad?
Oh, yeah, he was the captain of my ship that I was on. I mean, I say father figure, but he's a guy who believed in me and, helped me not be a fuck up,
See.
Shango, my request that I see your new acquired toy,
My acquired toy.
the stick.
Oh, White Man's Rod. I would not say this.
Well, you said it could hold the nice lady said it could hold a arcane charge, correct?
It has
Yes,
a
yes, we
basic
can.
enchantment, but it certainly is not a child's toy.
And to the wielder's design.
I pull out the rod, and so yes, it has a rather large gem of residuum at the top that you might or might not be familiar with.
All right. Can I try to pump something into it?
What is your intent to cast into it?
It will heal you in a time of need.
That would be most helpful. I would be much obliged.
Take
Yeah.
the stick, and I grab the symbol of Saren Ray, and I would like to try to cast Cure Wounds into it.
All right, you hold it and you place your hand upon the residual head of the cane, and you cast Cure Wounds into the cane, and that center fork of the jewel begins to glow and pulse and sync with the other three, and that thing is chock full of magic.
I hand it back.
My thanks to you, Father.
Thank you,
It shall
Father.
be helpful in a time of need.
Thank me after you use it. It hasn't done anything yet.
I shall
Hopefully you should
remember.
not need to. At least not immediately.
Hopefully.
So you all finish taking your daily your rations, trying to stay out of the rain with the help of your tent best you can, setting up your bedrolls, and as all of you do, you all feel just a little bit insignificant when you look over at Noxus's bedroll. You all feel just like a little bit less than. But and you all, as you will find as you sleep throughout the night, your bedrolls kind of soak up the groundwater and get a little bit wet, whereas Noxus just doesn't.
Just depends.
Because
But
as
anyway,
usual,
what
sits upright against like the tent pole or something like that, and just hugs her swords to her.
what are we doing? Watches or?
Yeah, I figured.
Yes.
Now let's be
Yes.
risky.
I'll take one of the later ones, so I can see in the dark a little bit.
Who's taking first watch? We'll start there.
Cortana should probably do one of the ones that's either earlier or closer to daylight.
Okay, so Cortanus is taking first watch. Anybody else?
I'll join her on the first watch.
All right. So the rest of you find your way to sleep. As Cortanus and Shango, you guys stay up in the rain, keeping an eye out on things. Is there anything that you're doing during your watch?
After a while, when I'm just going to see if I could get Katanus' attention for a second.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah, I would
Yes,
figure. I'm curious. Have you wandered this material plane, this plane of existence before?
She just like looks a little confused. What doth thou meanest?
Well, if you recall, when we first met, you rather just materialized, which makes me think you came from a different plane, being sent by Cord, our Stormlord.
No, nothing.
Yet you easily identified the writings on this rock.
I come from Exandria. At least, 'tis what I recall. I recall very little. But it hath been longer than... Well, I suppose it hath been longer than I expected. Simply felt like weeks. Or at least, like, how long has it been since that happened? That's how long she says it's been.
Yeah.
Several. I mean, it's hard to put a date, like a time on it.
Yeah, so just like whenever that happened.
Wait, since you appeared from the cart?
Mm-hmm. So that's the amount of time that she said it feels like.
Yeah, probably like 2 weeks, I guess, right? 2-3 weeks. Wait,
Since because
since Cortana and Shango met.
It was in Western, and you went from Western to Whitestone, so it'd probably
it's been longer.
So that journey there would have been at least a couple weeks, if not 3.
True, and then we
to
had
go from Western to Whitestone, and then
and then we had our trip
it
up to
took
the
you
cave.
a couple weeks to do your trip up to the cave and back.
Right. All right.
So she would say a little bit more than a month.
Yeah.
But
Do you recall anything at all before we have met? Pardon if I'm being too forthright.
Of course not, my lord. 'Tis my duty to thee. I certainly remember a bit of a life, what happened, but faces I no longer recall, names. I could not tell thee where exactly I was from, or my name. But I suppose, from everything I hath learned, such a place was before this calamity that occurred. 'Tis surprising to learn. You wouldst not have called it an Age of Arcanum, but I canst understand why thou wouldst have called it that.
Yeah, for her to say she's from before the calamity would mean that she's thousands of years old.
Yeah. I'll definitely give like a. Oh, not expect that sort of. I don't know what I expected, but not that.
I certainly
Whatever
did
that
not
facial
expect.
expression would be.
Certainly did not expect the change. I would have expected I would have been called forth before this, long before. At least several times. Thousands of years. I made a pact, and I would have expected I would be called upon to serve it through more than this.
Cord has his own ways of knowing what is best.
I knowest not about Cord. I did not make a pact with the Stormlord. Though I know of him, of course. We all do.
You did not.
No.
I am intrigued.
I simply called upon anything that would listen to me. What I recall, where I am from, there was a coup upon the castle I served. I could not tell you the name. But
Is that spring holy water? Sorry.
And over the course of it, my younger brother was slain. He was special. He was prophesized for greatness. There was a omen about him. So, if he was to die, everything was to be lost. So, I remember calling out to anyone, anything that could aid me. And an entity appeared before me and said that they would give me my wish if I would agree to, I suppose, giveth of my soul, my service to something they were creating. And so, I had nothing else I could do.
I am sorry to hear about your brother.
I received my wish, and so I am serving as I agreed. That is all I suppose, required.
I am sure he went on to do great. And I'm sure you will move on to do great and propel others.
I am simply here at thy service, my lord, until death breaks our contract. But
And I am thankful for that.
Certainly. I do wish I could remember more about him, what he would have done. I am certain he is a legend to thee, but I could not tell you his name or his face.
What's DM question? What would be the first name that comes to my mind about a legendary boy from the Age of Arcanum? Do they have any legends survived the years?
Make a history check. I mean, what little knowledge that survived the Age of Arcanum and the Calamity is housed mostly in Vasselheim, in the annals of the Platinum Sanctuary, amongst other temples. And there are a number of legends that come from that time that could fit what you're talking about, but I mean, it's so loosely tied that
It's too long, too far away.
Yeah.
In time, we shall uncover the stories of your family
Would be interesting to learn, but do not let me get in the way of thy ideals, my lord. 'Tis my duty to follow thine.
The time will come for it. It might not be tomorrow, but the time will come for it.
I could say like that.
Could I please ask Noxus to join me in secrets?
Dun, dun, dun.
Woo! So D&D Beyond.
I did not know. I did not know you were gonna emotional. I would have not have done it.
What?
That
My
was
brother's
great.
dead. My brother's dead. Oh,
The power cord compels you.
It's like, oh, whoops.
Oopsies. Oh well. Yeah. So guys, D&D Beyond, there's been an amazing sponsor. Wait, I think-
Oh, if you guys haven't donated yet,
Done and fucking done.
No.
Yeah,
You need-
has started a Kickstarter to make an awesome anime. And they need your help.
They already have enough money. They have enough money. You need to save your.
No, they
I
need
know,
more money.
Kickstarter.
We need the fucking Briarwood arc. Give me my fucking Briarwood arc.
But you need money for your third album.
We needed
That
we
too,
needed
but that's okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay, first give them money for Briarwood arc, and then donate to my band's Kickstarter.
There we go.
And the link will be in the
They're
description
doing a month
below.
between it.
This thing.
Oh shit, there isn't. It goes 45 days. Fuck.
Somewhere.
Somewhere down here. What they always do in the YouTube videos. Somewhere in this corner.
Right there. Or there. Or there. Or there. Also there. Maybe there.
The anticipation.
Yeah, I've had that exact moment describing like a tragic backstory for one of the characters that they were playing with, and I just had like 6 players at the table laughing at me. And I'm just like, oh, okay. This
Come on.
And I'm like, seriousness for like 4 seconds. He just wants to tell you something.
Yeah.
That's why you do it when everyone else is asleep.
Dum dum dum.
Except when they start yelling, the power of chord compels you in chat. I mean, technically the power of chord compels her now, if Shingo follows that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Shango believes, right? It's quite of the belief that it was the Stormlord court who helps him out a little bit.
Like, who knows? Maybe he did, because he got lucky.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know who you made a pact with, apparently. Who says it wasn't court? At least that's what I know so far.
Well, she has a different
Shango.
name for him then, but she knows who Cord is.
Shango's gonna be converting people left and right now.
Yeah, I gotta compete with you.
Have you heard the
I'm
word of
not
our Lord and
converting-
Savior, the
I'm not
Stormlord?
converting anybody.
I'll just start knocking on people's doors. Excuse me, have you heard of our Lord and Savior?
It's like my brother got struck by lightning. Oh,
He got better. He literally got better.
Hmm.
But
There's
now his
magic
eye-
and shit.
the corner of his eye does this funny twitchy thing when he's upset.
It's
or
fine,
when
he's got magic.
reads.
It's good. It's a minor side effect.
Eh.
A few of our family men recently experienced a lot of lightning strikes.
Who's sharing a tent with Noxus?
I think Father Fuck would be.
Father
Yeah,
Fight?
who agreed to that?
Yeah, because the
I-
end is 100 feet away, right?
Yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
not that far away.
No, I was gonna say the joke was that I was, because I said.
Oh, all
No,
right.
that would be perfect.
So Erdan, what's your passive perception?
Ooh, I know this.
You do?
Yeah, it's 14. Told you I knew it.
Pretty good.
14. And I'd like perception checks from Cortanus and Shango.
Boop. Bam.
Coming in hot.
Uh,
Hot hand.
Cortanis, Shango, you guys catch a scent on the air of sulfur and burnt ozone.
Someone
And you feel a slight chill. Erdan, you're stirred by the smell of sulfur, and as you turn and look, as your eyes adjust, and you turn and look over at Noxus, who's sitting up in his bedroll. You see what looks like black smoke.
Under my breath, can I just say,
Hold on.
maybe?
Hold on.
Sorry, go ahead.
You look and see what looks like black smoke or ember, like smoke, like from a fire, kind of floating off of him and slowly dissipating. Cortanis definitely seems to be coming from Erdan and Noxus's tent.
Just gonna point that out to Shango and then step out and walk that way.
I'm just gonna say under my breath, maybe I shouldn't have used sarcasm.
Yeah, so basically, if Dan's looking at his eyes are wide open, he is crazed, look like and he's saying over and over in Draconic, if anybody understands it, he's saying something over and over.
Well, wait, do you understand Draconic? Do you speak Draconic, Erdan?
I do not. I don't understand a word he's saying. I'm grabbing
What are you grabbing?
my hammer.
Okay. Cortanis, you come into the tent, and you see Erdan sitting up, holding his hammer. What languages do you speak?
Not Draconic.
You see Noxus sitting up with a crazed look in his eye, just speaking a language you don't understand, and you catch the last of what looks like this embery, the smoke coming off of him, and you also see, how like in a campfire, every once in a while, those like kind of burning embers float up in the heat it's like that coming off of his shoulders, but it dissipates slowly.
Noxus. He's looking to Erdan. Also hands on blades just in case.
And as the flap of the tent opens, the scent is like woof. It's like walking into a wall of smell.
Yeah. That's hard, but she's just like not breathing through her nose.
Yeah, and this is the first time you notice the heat coming from inside in here, how hot it is in here, and you get that feeling on your eyes where you're kind of like a little bit too close to the fire, and
it kind of burns the eyes.
Yeah. Shango, if you were coming in behind Cortanis, you get all of this as well.
Yeah, no, I was going to stay a couple of feet behind in front of the tent.
Sayao, you and Fike would have, like, with all the commotion that's going on, you probably would have risen as well.
Right. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, he's just repeating something. He just keeps repeating in Draconic. He's really not. He just doesn't care because he's like, what's going on with them? Because it's like he's really freaked out. You can definitely tell he's freaked out.
Noxus. She'll take a careful step forward and just keep between Noxus and the rest of them. We canst not understand thee.
Is he okay?
I'm gonna stand up and ready in action for Sacred Flame if he attacks.
Okay.
Does anyone understand his words?
Does anybody speak Draconic?
I guess not.
I guess not.
Huh?
Apparently not.
Well, so he kind of comes out of what he's saying, and he looks around and he's like, Why is everybody in my? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I had a nightmare. It really freaked me out. I was just saying, what the fuck was that? I'm sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you guys. It was just really fucking scary, and it reminded me of stories that my father and mother tell me when I was a kid, and just really, yeah.
You are
Sorry.
not startled by their words, more so just gesturing to the bit of embers that are going away.
He kind of looks at you funny, like, what?
It's dissipated at this point.
Oh.
You don't even notice it, Noxus.
And he looks around. He's like, I don't know.
Burning
You do-
embers.
you
'Twas
do
quite
smell that.
hot.
You do smell that lingering smell that usually your weapon.
Did I see the embers from outside the tent, or would I have only seen them if I stepped in?
If you stepped in.
Okay. No, I never stepped in. I just stayed outside.
And he kind of throws his hand back and forth. He's like, the hell is that smell?
That's you, mate.
That's me? Wait, you guys smell that? You guys smell that too? I'm not going fucking crazy. You smell this too?
We
No,
could
but you look like you
not
are going crazy.
not.
Noxus, what did you eat?
I didn't fart. All right. It wasn't what I ate. Okay, I smelt it in my dream.
That is brimstone.
So I guess. The fuck was that thing?
What didst thou see?
I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything. I saw fire, and when I touched the ground, it turned to ice, and I was in this water, and it was fucking freezing. And I get on the water above it, and I'm on the ice, and these voices just say that they need me for something, and it's fucking weird. They just sounded so familiar to me. It was like, but I don't know. I sound like I'm a fucking babbling crazy man.
You say you didn't know where the sword
No, I've never seen it in my life.
Stranger things hath happened, but thou needest to calm down, otherwise thy magic may go out of control.
Shango, there does not appear to be any threats around.
Alright.
I don't think I can go back to sleep, so I'll take the next watch.
It's about time for a watch change anyway, Cortanus, but
Very well. Just be cautious.
I'll be fine. I just need some fresh air.
If you wish to join Erdan in our exploration of arcane talents, feel free to.
Oh, these aren't arcane talents.
That is certainly something unnatural.
Yeah, you're telling me. I don't like it one bit. And he'll start to walk out the tent.
alright. Is anybody taking second watch with Noxus?
Probably not, because he's really fucking scary at the moment.
I
was like,
would do it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah!
Fike
Go,
is
father.
taking second watch? Alright.
Yeah,
Let's go, father.
He can't
So
kill
the-
you in your sleep if you're not asleep.
that's right.
The rest of you head to sleep or back to sleep into your subpar bedrolls.
House might stay up a little bit longer before falling asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stay up a little bit longer, keeping an eye out.
Mhm.
Actually, same for Shango, actually. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't trust this dude. I don't want my tent to go up in flames.
I shall not let
but-
that happen, my lord.
Fike, you come out and smell the telltale scent of brimstone. But Noxus still seems pretty freaked out as the rest of the party makes their way to bed for the evening.
Since I heard all that, I'm gonna cast detect evil and good real quick.
All right, you cast detect evil and good.
Yep.
I like his high pitchedness.
It's not me doing it. That's somebody else doing it. I really 3 halflings in a trench coat.
Knockable, whatever they are.
So what does it look like when you cast this, Fike?
It is a very bright glow, but nobody can really see it because the firelight is so bright.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of just is more of like an oomph out into the air, like a
Yeah.
radiance,
Like a sonic boom.
Mm-hmm.
like a very quiet sonic boom, and maybe there's a slight shift, like if the wind picked up for a second, and I just
Yeah.
kind of feel the
Like
air around me.
You probably wouldn't notice it, except it's raining so hard, so the drops get affected by it.
Yeah,
That
that means everybody gets 1 second of no rain hitting their tent.
Exactly. But anyway, as you look around, particularly looking at Noxus, you do not sense any aberrations for the 10 minutes. You do not sense any aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead within 30 feet of you. As well as, similarly, you know if there is a place or object within 30 feet of you that has been magically consecrated or desecrated. Yeah, you don't see anything like that.
All right, good. Nox, are you? I know you're in your own head, and you kind of freaked everybody out, but you were right.
Yeah, he's kind of just looking into the fire, staring, and it takes a couple seconds. What? Oh, you know, I want to say yes, but I think I'm gonna be. But that was really fucking weird, man. That was the weirdest thing that has ever happened to me, other than the fucking dragons. But yeah, that was really fucking strange.
Dragons, like you dragons, like I mean,
He looks up at you like with a look.
fucking-
He looks up at you like, really, motherfucker. Pulls his cloak up and he shows you his tail.
So the second you see his tail, you're not used to seeing Dragonborn with tails. You're used to seeing Dragonborns without tails. This is probably the first Dragonborn you've ever seen with a tail. And instantly your, basic world history kicks in. And this is probably one of the very few survivors of the attack on Draconia by the Chroma Conclave.
Oh, all right. That dragon, got it. Dragons.
Yeah.
Oh.
Those dragons.
The one that knocked the flying cities of Draconia out of the sky.
Yeah, no, I the player knows that Fike is.
Yeah.
Right.
For those who don't in the party, yeah.
You look. Life's strange. I think this would have been a good day to stay in the inn, but I think we're all gonna try to help you deal with it. And if you really need to go back to sleep, ask your old buddy Fike to just send you on your way. I'm making comedy. Nothing. Okay. All right. Good. I'm just gonna go back to.
No, you're
watch.
You're all right. It's just I get in my head too much, and I think a little too much. There was only really one person to help me get out of that. You remind me a little bit of him, so that does help.
I mean, your father-ish figure, is that what you're talking about?
Aye, that'd be him.
Well, like I said, I'm not doing nothing. If you are asking me to stick with you, regardless of what we do after, if that would help. All you gotta do is say, all right, good talk. And I just give him a little clap on the shoulder and I go, fuck off about 30 feet away from him.
Okay. Just do anything else during your watch, Noxus?
Yeah, I mean, he'll kind of walk around and try and break the awkwardness, and he'll walk up to him and he'll hold out his hand to Father.
I go and I shake it
All right.
with vigor. What do you guys want?
A meaningful shake.
Yeah,
With
meaningful shake.
vigor! As long as it's not vinegar. As long as it's vigor and not vinegar.
No, it's vigor. It's not vinegar.
So yeah, he kind of just he doesn't say any words, but he kind of just gives them, I appreciate that, and kind of like, yeah, that would be good. Doesn't say much else for the rest of the night.
Cool. Your watches go on for the rest of the watch without too much of an issue. And lastly, it's time for Seao and Erdan to teach.
Alright.
All right.
If there's anything special you guys want to be doing during your watch.
I'm going to keep a firm eye on my tent.
On your tent. Yeah, keeping an eye out for the smell of brimstone.
So, has he ever done anything like that before, Dad?
I have no clue. I barely know this guy. I've known him as long as you have.
Oh, I thought you guys were buddies.
No.
My bad.
Most I know about him is he's a sailor, and apparently he fiddles with demonic beings, because that's all I can add up to be.
Demonic?
He smelled ripe of brimstone. What would you call that?
Gas?
Gas. I don't know what kind of gas you are having, but that is not just an ordinary gas, mate.
Well, I used to I used to house with a bunch of soldiers, so
I'll let you know that if you ever let out smoke like that out of your bum, you have an issue back there.
I think there might be some soldiers in Iman that have issues.
I wouldn't doubt it.
You guys continue talking. You keep a close eye on the tent. There doesn't appear to be another disturbance throughout the night, Erdan, from your tent. And eventually, Noxus, you're able to fall asleep, but no dreams come. At least none that you remember. And as all of you come to consciousness in the morning, the rain appears to have dissipated. And there's only, with that heavy of a rain, the vast majority of the snow has been kind of washed away. There's only small patches here and there. As you as you come to consciousness in the morning. There's still a bit of a chill in the air, but it's definitely getting warmer. You still have quite a journey ahead of you to get to the fork in the road that is Turst Fields. That is the Turst Fields. But as you guys come to consciousness in the morning, the fire is still going. There's some rations being prepared for breakfast by Noxus or by Erdan and Sao. What would you like to do?
Thomas will just be quickly starting to put away tents.
Have breakfast and head out.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Pack everything up and
Get ready to go.
All right. So you guys pack everything up and begin to head south. You begin your long trek south.
As we're traveling, can I generally keep an eye out for any signs of the practitioner? So, I guess if you see anybody on the road, I would want to talk to people, or anything out of the ordinary. I guess if there's like a lot of marks somewhere, or like a lot of brush that's been broken through, or something like that.
Make a perception check. 5. You don't really, as you're traveling, you guys don't see anybody traveling the opposite direction throughout the day, and your thoughts keep going back to the events of last night, so you're a bit distracted.
Yeah.
As you're kind of walking behind Noxus, and every once in a while, you're kind of watching him, just trying to, and every once in a while you swear you can see another one of those little embers come up off of his shoulder, but you kind of like blink and shake your head and it's not there anymore. So you don't know.
Do I notice people like staring at?
I don't know. Is anybody really staring at Noxus this morning? Or Dan, are you?
No, I'm keeping the corner of my eye on him, but I'm not staring at him.
All right, so I'll say
12 passes.
Well, I'm gonna have you make an insight check. And I'll have Dan. Anybody else keeping their side eye on Noxus?
A little bit,
Roll
yeah.
for coyness.
Katana totally has to.
Yeah. So I'll have you guys write. So I'll have Noxus roll insight, and I'll have anybody who's keeping an eye on him roll. If you're trying to not have him notice that you're keeping an eye on him, roll performance, I guess, or deception, one or the other.
She's not trying to be stealthy about it. She's already told the group what her priority is.
Yeah.
I'm keeping an eye on him, but it's just to keep him out of his own head. It's more like when he's lost in thought, I'm just breaking it up with small talk.
Okay.
So I'm not giving him the side eye.
Yeah, so it's not that. So yeah, go ahead.
I'm not hiding that I'm suspicious of him.
All right. So Noxus, you notice that every once in a while you kind of do that thing where you like look over at someone and you can tell that they were looking at you and they kind of like look off like in the other direction. They're like you guys lock eyes for like a second and then they look off like they were looking at something else.
Katana doesn't do that. She keeps looking.
So he just goes, all right, okay. Someone fucking tell me what they think that was. We'll talk about the elephant in the fucking room.
There's an elephant in the room?
We're not in a room.
Not a room.
Oh my god.
This time I believe
Everybody
I
in this party just a prick.
I am super
bruise
nice.
on
I
his-
don't know why.
No, you are Fike. I'm sorry, but I'm just like Jesus Christ.
But everybody else.
The amount of shade that gets thrown around in this.
No,
Well,
this
you
time they were
heard
just
my
trying to look for
sarcasm earlier. I don't exactly understand it.
I couldst not tell thee what I believe it is, but whatever it was, thou hast no control over it, so we must be more cautious. Thou understand,
Well-
correct?
Well, I mean, I think I have control. I didn't kill y'all in your sleep, did I?
You didn't.
Yet.
All I know is the only time I've ever smelt that was when the clergy went after demonic presence. That is the only time I've ever smelled so much brimstone in my life.
Thou hadst been
Well-
terrified of it. We should be similarly, wouldst thou not think?
Well, that sucks.
I checked him. He's clean.
Thank you. Thank you, by the gods. Somebody takes my side.
All right.
Checked him, he's clean.
Yes, I'm sorry, Noxus, but I casted Detect Good and Evil against you and everybody else in the group. Oh, don't. He's fine. He's not any
Just
ill-bred.
because he
Not,
didn't.
I doth not think that
Persist
thou art a
evil.
demon. If that is what
if
thou art
that's what
assuming.
that's what everybody is thinking, right? He's some kind of
No,
fuck off underbeing.
I
Fuck,
doth
that's what I
not
think
believe
I am.
that. I simply doth not know for certain what happened, only what we hath seen. And that is whatever magic he uses, he doth not have entire control over it. My purpose is to keep my lord safe, and therefore I must take notice of such things.
Well, I have no real reason to, kill Shangos.
I doth
You're all
not believe
good.
thou do, but I must be cautious, Noxus.
Your question earlier of if I trust the group, that is gone now. I see you all as equal, and I equally don't trust any of you anymore. I have to be cautious in my nature, and I cannot just walk idly by while something like that happens and everyone just shrugs their shoulders and walks it off. There's something wrong with this man.
Wrong because he is casting magic? Or
Casting
wrong
magic in his sleep?
I didn't cast anything, though. I had a...
It wasn't magic.
I think he's fine. I already asked everybody yesterday. I addressed the elephant in the room yesterday. I said, "Is everybody okay with us traveling?" Everybody, yeah, we're all good buddy friends.
Did that happen? Did that happen yesterday?
Yes.
No, it happened last night, before you made that comment.
All right. So sometimes you make a shit deal. So
I guess
think
we
we're
made
gonna.
a shit deal, and that's why I don't trust him.
Thomas looks over a deal. Who didst thou maketh a deal with? What?
So in that moment, you say that, Nox is his eyes go wide. He's like, oh, fuck, what have I done? This isn't good. This is not fucking good.
Wait.
Dude.
Katanas walks up to him at that. What didst thou do?
So I'll just be really clear. No offense to any. I've never believed in God. I mean, I know they're real, but like after Draconia and everything, I kind of like, where the fuck are they? Yeah. So, how I said I woke up on a beach and I found that sword? Well, there's a reason I woke up on the beach. I don't know how, but I did. So I'm looking for my captain because somebody sank our ship. And yeah, I was under doing inventory like I'm supposed to. And yeah, somebody shot at us and I was trapped. And I said, you know, what anyone would do. If anyone is out there and you're fucking real, help me. I'll do anything.
Cortaz just gives him a very knowing look at that and just kind of a little sad.
And I blacked out, and there was a lot of fire. I was trapped under a beam, and I was about to drown, and I think I did drown. I don't remember. I just remember going black, and then I woke up on the beach, and there was this sword. And he pulls the sword out. He's like, yeah, and there was this thing.
So as he summons the sword, you see that same sort of like smoke and embers kind of shoot out of his hand as if the sword appears, and as if the smoke appears and then solidifies into the blade.
Cortaz is instinctively reaching for her blades, but doesn't actually pull them out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that I think I may have fucked up.
Would I know anything about warlocks?
I mean, you know that warlocks are a thing that exist in the world, yeah.
Would I know about anything about needing like packs and anything like that? Probably not, right?
In your training as a cleric, there are a multitude of different kinds of demonic packs that you've been trained to be wary of and to be on the lookout for. And I mean, that's what demons and devils do, is try to get people to make pacts and contracts and things like that. Like, that's their whole thing.
Yes, so I would know that he probably made a deal with a demon.
Well, you also know that there are entities there are warlocks that make deals with entities that are not demonic either. There are warlocks that make pacts with divine entities.
Do their swords shoot brimstone?
You have no idea. You don't have any personal experience with warlocks.
Right.
But you know that they're a thing that exists, just like Dan knows that, like, software engineers are a thing that exists. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're crazy, but they exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably also made deals with devils.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, they do.
I would say,
For the love of God, let this code work.
Okay, web dev's slightly different than software devs, but kind of, yeah.
I feel like the worlds are bleeding together here, and we need to stop. Hold on.
It's bad that I'm looking.
But yeah, so I mean, yeah. So I mean, that's kind of the information you have. Some of the examples you'd heard about were archfey, divine entities making pacts with to create warlocks, other ancient and powerful entities. And also, yes, demonic or fiendish entities.
Alright. I don't really know what to go off of for that, though. I'm just gonna stand my guard and not really trust the situation.
I mean, it was just a nightmare. Like, nothing happened other than just I was scared. All right, it just reminded me of something when I was a kid, and that's about it. But after all this, I'm not quite sure what I've done. So
Cortaz just slowly looks down, frowns, and shakes her head. I canst not say anything to the pact that thou hast made. only that thou must be careful going forward, if thou knowest not what thou received and what thou gave. When one makes pacts, that should be known.
Noxus, make another insight check for me. Never mind.
This is when I wish I was smarter.
Well,
Wiser.
I am wise. Oh,
Jinx
it's
you on your
insight.
Insight, yeah.
I mean, I was just talking about the deal that we kind of made to travel together, but that was a whole thing that I wasn't prepared for. That was new. But I stand by him. So
I don't think anyone was prepared for that.
Yeah, I wasn't even prepared for that shit.
The world has a way to get at you unprepared. The various
true
deities
anytime.
and entities. The various deities and entities have a way of getting at you unprepared.
Yeah, they like to fuck with you. Yeah, I get that for sure.
I have no intention of fighting thee as long as thou art not a threat, but I must be cautious. As I have said, my priorities are to my lord first and foremost. But I understand.
I'm not going to kill any of you.
Yet.
Well,
Dan, how about this? If I was a shit person, you'd be harpy bait right now.
I'd be happy, bait.
Yes.
You gotta put your money where your mouth is, mate.
I mean, I'm not going to hit you back, but if you want to kill me, go ahead.
I don't want to kill you.
Let's
I
see
don't
what the
know
good
why
guy
you're
is.
threatened by the fact that I'm threatened by him. There's nothing he's done for you, and there's nothing that I've done for you. There's nothing that any of us done for each other. We're just trusting. I'm not going to trust you. I know better than to randomly trust strangers. I will stand with you, people. I will fight with you, and I will do contracts with you. But I will not trust you as of right now.
All right. I'll walk off.
If that's not okay with you, I can walk the other way, and that is fine with me.
Keep going down the path.
Okay.
Destination.
You all, unless there's anything else anyone wants to say, but you all continue to walk down the path. Quiet. It's quiet for the next several miles.
Awkward quietness.
Yes.
With some extra space between the
Yeah.
people.
Exactly.
For the love of God, prestidigitation like a whistle or a bird or anything.
Yeah, I was just about to say, someone make start singing or something, like la la la.
Roll for awkward silence.
Which button is that?
Actually,
Which button is that?
Silence.
I thought we were net 20 that one.
Point.
So
Dan's got a
some
point.
safe.
So to break the awkward silence, because Noxus doesn't like silence, he'll start to sing a sea shanty, and it's Erdan recognizes it, and yeah, Erdan recognizes it.
Okay.
Why do I recognize it?
Because
You're
it's a
a
sea
sailor.
shanty.
It's a sea shanty. Do you not have the sailor background?
I do.
Oh.
Yeah, you recognize it. It's just
Yeah.
something that
It's a common
they sing.
shanty. It's the what do you do with a drunken sailor?
Oh god damn! No, not again! I got away from that life. I got out of that life. No, seriously, I spent years of my life singing that song over and over again.
You love it. Don't act like you don't love it.
Blow the man down.
No, I've sang that one for a long time
sings-
too. I spent 9, 10, 11,
deal with
12.
it.
I spent 5 years doing that.
He sings it slowly and not like fast or any kind of almost like solemn, almost sad.
Yeah. As you all continue, you get to about there. as you rest for a second night, you go through your watches. No dreams this tonight, Noxus. But you all go through your watches relatively uneventfully. And on the third day, as you are traveling, you get to about here. I would love for everyone to make perception checks. Cortanus with the perception tonight, man.
Ooh.
I'm just way up in my own thoughts.
Yeah.
All these people making deals and stuff, and
My veins are still throbbing in my neck.
yeah.
She's definitely on alert after all that stuff.
Or Dan not trusting anyone anymore.
Well, believe it or not, Cortanus, you're the only one that notices it because everyone else rolled shit perception.
Oh,
But Cortanus, as you guys are walking through the path through the woods, you begin to come to a little bit of a spot where the trees don't hang over the road as much, and you get a little bit more sun. And you peek with that extra little bit of sun. You peek down into the little bit of the runoff that goes down the side of the road into the forest a little bit, and you can quite clearly see body splayed out on the ground. A humanoid body.
ooh. She's gonna quickly hold out an arm for Shango and then point over to the body.
Get ready behind Katanas for potential threats and dangers.
One was not so lucky on the path, she'll say aloud to everyone.
I'll pull out my hammer.
I'll
Pull out your hammer.
I pull out my sword and get ready.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are too cautious. I'm gonna go check it for traps.
Check the body for traps!
Check the body for traps.
Head down off the path about 10-15 feet over, and there's appears to be a body face down on the ground. There's a heavy grayish green cloak that hangs over it. It's torn to there's rips and tears all over it. Yeah.
Many days dead, few days dead.
Make a medicine or a nature check.
Oh, they're terrible. Sure, nature. 5. It's a body.
You're not sure. You're not sure. It's there's plenty of flies and stuff around, so probably not recent.
Forensics. Use your forensic science knowledge.
Yeah. But it's definitely not moving. There's no it's definitely not breathing. There are rips and gashes and tears all over it.
Any I will inspect the cloak to try to figure out if an animal did this.
Make a nature check. 16. In your travelings, actually, from Amon to Whitestone, you found a similar body early in your journeys. And one of the persons that was with you, that you were traveling with just out of Amon, was showing you a few things on it, and you recognize some of the wounds on here. There definitely appear to be, looking the body over. It's as you are you flipping it over and.
Oh yeah, I'm fully inspecting it.
All right, so as you flip it over, it's a half orc. female.
Hmm.
There's all sorts of claw and slash marks all over, and bite marks. It looks like she's been mauled by a bear, a very large bear.
As
It was a big, giant, fuck off bear.
You also happen to notice some tracks, some bear tracks, some very large bear tracks.
Like, I put my palm in it to try to get like a gauge of how big it is.
It's 3 times the size of your hand, at least.
Like 12 feet tall, roughly like 800 pounds. So like big, giant fuck off.
Yeah, noting
with
the
a-
type of person it was, she'll kind of look knowingly over to Shango. Doth thou thinkest?
with a nod to Cortana, watch my back. I'm gonna walk over and see that it's a half orc, I assume, and
Yeah,
check for the symbol of the River Maw tribe and see if is it on the shoulder anywhere.
Make an investigation check. 5. It takes you a while. I'm not going to say you don't succeed because you have all the time in the world essentially, but it takes you a while. But eventually, you're able to find a small talisman around that seems to be carved out of like one of those stones you'll find at the bottom of a river that's like super smoothed over.
Yeah.
And it has that same symbol on it. The face is almost unrecognizable from the mauling. There are the armor she had. What the leather armor she was wearing is ripped and torn to asunder. She had her cloak is shredded. There is, however, and there's just gash marks and bite marks all over her body. Broken bones you can find. It looks like she's been mauled by a bear. Like some straight up revenant shit.
Yeah. I want to grab the talisman.
Okay.
You said it was a necklace, or?
Yeah, it's just like there's like a leather cord that holds it around her neck.
And I also want to check to see if she has any sort of scrolls or papers on her.
You do find a few correspondence that appear to be between her and Eskel Reindarian. Essentially, letters from him asking, giving her some insight on the research that he's been doing, talking about how he's continually rebuffed with his arcane magics and investigations, and he needs a master of natural magics as a consultant. Essentially, it appears they have some sort of relationship that goes back some years, and it essentially sounds like he was calling in a favor.
Yeah. All right, I'll grab that too.
You also get from that, obviously, from the correspondence, she would have had her name on there from the correspondence.
Okay, her name.
The two from the two from and everything.
Yeah.
So you finally find out that her name. What?
What's her name? And she's dead.
But then at least we know that she definitely died.
She's definitely, you definitely know that she's dead. So you got
and
that.
we can prove that we found the body because we found this and know her name now.
Yeah.
Her name is Persephone.
Her name is Ovak.
Never mind.
Not even close.
I was wrong.
Ovak.
That's just right before, like O before P.
Sorry.
Like saying they were close. It's like one letter off.
Yeah. Ovak. Ovak.
We shall give her the final rest and honors.
Yes, thank you, Tango. And I'm gonna try to help get the body out of the bed.
Okay.
But the question is, who killed her?
What in this case?
Big giant fuck off bat. I said it like 3 times. You know, it's probably like 1,200 pounds. Look at the tracks.
Yeah, Fike points to the enormous tracks that are filled with water.
I like
Yeah.
things
Was
that
this
are
not
small.
a druid?
He said she was a practitioner of natural arts.
So she couldn't defend herself.
I'm gonna go find a nice mossy spot to lair.
Okay.
It is unusual for her to touch with the nature.
As Fike has now pointed them out, as you look at the tracks, it looks like there was a huge fight that took place. You guys are seeing elemental magic burns on trunks of trees. There's, bark is being where it's been scratched and pulled off. You find tracks of what looks like a large wolf creature that turned back into the tracks of the druid of Ovak.
Oh, yeah. Do we find any additional tracks besides like her shape shifting and the bear?
There's the bear tracks that lead off further into the forest.
Can we make anything out of her being presumably attacked by a bear, even though she's a druid? She likes bears in nature.
It's certainly odd. Based on the correspondence you were reading, it appears that she was probably a fairly powerful druid to have Eskel calling her in to be asking questions about. So you would imagine that someone who's that in tune with nature probably wouldn't have a hard time getting the average bear to not kill them.
There are no signs of any companion. She was traveling from what it looks like.
No, it looks like she was traveling on her own. It takes you several hours to gather all of this information because of the low investigation rolls.
That's fair.
And I'm just pointing at things. I'm just like, this.
Yeah. You're giving it your best Vanna White.
Yeah. This thing. Would you like to buy a vowel? B.
What's a vowel?
12. I'm just gonna do like I'm not sure if we're at the burying point, but I just want to do the cross arms, the silver pieces on the eyes, and
over the course of time where Shango is inspecting the doing that that thing Aragorn does in the Two Towers where they find the pile of burned bodies. He's like, a hobbit lay here and one here. And they ran over here.
That was a struggle. They crawled.
There was a struggle. They crawled, and basically that's what he's doing. He's saying, someone moved over here. You can see from the foot placements they cast a spell. There's the scorch mark on the tree, so they must have missed. And here's the bear charged. And they're breaking it down until it finally gets to the bear tracks walking off into the woods. And at this point, you've got the hole dug and everything. So,
what time of the day is it at that point?
At this point, it's getting to be late afternoon.
Late afternoon.
Anybody want to say anything, or are we just gonna cover the whole?
We hardly knew you.
Did you had a?
Sorry.
Audible sigh. Did she have a name, Shango? Is it?
Yes, she was Owak of the Rivermore tribe.
Can you toss me one of those pieces of bark that are busted off?
Sure. Yeah, toss him a piece of bark that was busted off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to carve that into the bark so I could.
Yeah.
She has a proper headstone.
Yep. You do so.
All right.
You take the time to give her her last rites, the best you can, not knowing if she was a follower of any particular deity, and you know, return her to the earth as she probably would have wanted to be entombed in such a way, a natural send off. What would you guys like to do?
Which
Well, it
direction
is
were
not-
the bear marks going off into? Is it the same direction we were going, heading towards the
No, the
Okay.
path continued south, slightly southwest. The tracks go almost due east into the Parchwood.
Well, it is not unheard of to be attacked by vicious beasts on the road. I do feel compelled to look further into this matter.
I second that.
And how would we do that?
My first thought would be to follow these tracks.
The tracks go in the opposite
See.
direction.
Not the opposite direction. You're heading south. The tracks go east.
See if the beast was maybe compelled by some ravenous spirit or disease.
I mean, or maybe it was.
I'll follow where you go, Shango.
Since we were traveling by here before, does anyone know anything about this area?
Nothing of Taldore. He's never been.
Same.
This is his first time.
I mean, we just came up from Western a couple of weeks back, but I mean, I don't think we saw probably anything, do we?
You can make you can make general intelligence checks to see what you know about the Parchwood.
I'm gonna see if I'm smart. Oh no, I'm not.
None of us are smart. Most of us all have negative
I don't know.
ones.
Shango's pretty smart.
He's the only one. I can say that much for sure.
Shango,
I do smart things.
as you know, coming from the Ashari, a place that studies the natural order of things, you probably learned about the different forested lands across Taldore. So what you know about the Parchwood is the Parchwood timberlands are dark, dense, and often assailed by snow and cold winds. The Parchwood timberlands consume most of the valleys within the Alabaster Sierras, with pine trees and heavily overgrown pathways. The grim and forbidding interior of the Parchwood is home to many equally grim inhabitants, from spectral remains of unlucky travelers past to wandering blights spawned by corrupt trees that consume the life around them. Howls can be heard in the darkest of nights, giving rumor to werewolf hunting parties that stalk the wood. A handful of nearby farmers swear they've encountered a community of territorial centaurs in the southern region of the Parchwood, though such tales are largely met with derision. It is common and well imparted tend to travel through thick fog of the Parchwood timberlands. You stick to the roads. You bring some muscle, and you pray to whatever gods bring you comfort.
Not a nice place to be. Shall we give it till mid-morning? No, wait, it's late in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's probably like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. You probably got an hour, maybe 2 of
Okay.
daylight.
Shall we find a spot to rest for the night and give it, say, till the sun stands high tomorrow to see if we can find this foul creature.
If that brings you happiness, then I will go with you. But I think
Sounds
this
like a
is
fun idea.
ridiculous, personally.
It might be far-fetched. It seems not far off to be assaulted on these roads.
I was going to do one more of I put my hand in the paw print and look at him. I'm just letting you know what you're getting into. Like 10, 12 feet tall, like 800, 1,200 pounds.
Just point
Like,
at Katana's and her swords.
Like a very cool. It's going to be a very cool coat for someone, but
Katana's like looks up
I
at
don't
him.
know. I killed a
That was-
minotaur.
Thou cut through many an undead creature, not very long ago.
boy, that's it. I hope someone played the new God of War.
I had no idea. I was just expecting like an oh boy, like this is fucking Quantum Leap.
He calls his son boy, and and it's just like boy. Stop.
You would think the kid's name is Boy.
To be fair, it sounded a little bit like Bobby from Supernatural.
Idiot.
Balls.
Yep, there you go.
So, are you following the tracks a little bit while you still have daylight, or?
I suggest we just go off the road, not just a couple yards or so off the road, so we're not camping in the middle of the street. But since daylight is about to run out, I feel like it would be better to start fresh in the morning.
I mean, you've got a couple hours.
A couple hours? I thought it was only like an hour or so.
No, you've got
Probably
like
about 3 o'clock.
yeah, it's like 4-ish o'clock. So you've got an hour and a half, 2 hours before you'd have to start, in earnest making camp. Yeah.
Okay. And I guess we could always backtrack, because I would think it's better to camp near the road.
Yes, perhaps not further into this parchwood thou speakest of.
Yeah.
But if you were to go back to the road and set up camp, you'd have a couple hours of daylight before,
Okay, so we can make like an hour to scouting and then come back.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Shall we still follow these tracks?
All right, who's leading the charge on this?
No one.
Probably Shingo and
stops me.
Cortanas, considering they're the ones who are actually doing that. I really wanted to do
Everyone
this.
else seems not too excited.
Make survival checks. Whoever's tracking these tracks. 14.
Huh.
18. All right. So you begin following the tracks, and they continue deeper and deeper into the forest. For about 30 minutes, you follow them, and a strange thing happens. They begin to shift. They are no longer. They stop. They stop being bear tracks and turn into rather large bipedal humanoid tracks.
A shifter.
But yet smaller, right?
Not really, no.
Damn.
Yeah.
A
Damn.
large shifter.
I go and I tap Father on his shoulder, and it kind of I'm looking at the footprints, and it's kind of tapping like that, really really fast tapping, like nervous tapping on his shoulder.
Like, hey.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Yes, Noxus. Yes.
Father,
Yes.
and then he'll point at it, and as he's still tapping him, how big is that? That looks big.
Yeah, put your foot in it.
Yeah, it's not the tracks didn't necessarily get smaller, Fike. They just changed shape and became bipedal instead of quadrupedal.
Fast it up. The bear's walking on 2 legs now. It's
No, it's definitely not
Changing.
bear tracks anymore. It's
oh, it's
definitely
not bear.
And
No, they're
changing the shape of his foot.
they're definitely humanoid.
Father
Found
Pike was about to have a
Sasquatch.
conniption with
Oh,
freaking Noxus. He's about to be like, "You fucking idiot! It's still a fucking bear."
That's how we couldn't find
It's a tricky
Sasquatch.
bear. It found shoes. It put shoes on. This is where it sat and put on shoes. It had to struggle with the laces.
This is what happened to the last traveler. It fell for a trap.
It wore its last traveler's skin.
Oh God!
I don't know how big that would be, but I assume it's
And that was
still-
when God carried the bear.
Yeah.
God, for the love of Cord, stop.
Oh my god!
All right, we know that there are 1,000,001 bear puns out there. Let's try.
And I can, you know what?
I
You
can't
know what,
bear
guys?
it anymore.
I'm barely holding myself together right now.
This turned
God, this is
Persona 4 very
unbearable.
quickly.
Oh God.
Surface.
This is just unbearable.
Yeah, that pun was unbearable.
This is,
All right, everybody, get them out of their system.
Commit this grisly murder.
right. Anyway,
We're good. We're
I missed
good.
that.
all right, that's where we're gonna call it tonight.
Bear Tusk
Wait.
have wore out the DM.
Wait a second. Wait, I have one more.
Oh boy.
All
I'm gonna
right.
take away experience points.
That's
what-
fine. it's I'm okay with this.
As long as it's just him.
Does anyone have a camera?
Camera?
Yeah.
What's the camera?
I'm
Doth
out
not
of-
everyone have this camera? Speak of that.
Doth no one have camera? All right, never mind. Forget it.
Confused.
Okay.
I'm out of film. I need some more Kodiak.
You should go stand in the corner and think about what you've done.
I've done terrible.
You cannot see this, but I am doing it as hard as I can.
That's why you need a camera.
So we're on the trail.
D&D Beyond, everyone.
All right, all right.
Don't forget everyone to go check out the Kickstarter.
Yeah, they need your help. They
We
need
got
your
new
help.
stretch goals
They
coming
totally
up.
need our help, guys. They are
Um,
so close
Need to
All right.
to reaching their goal.
We're almost at like $5, so we got this.
A whole $5.
More than my bank account.
Try maybe like 10,000. Nope. Try 6,000 more, and they'll be at 5.6.
Oh wow.
So let's hand out experience. So yeah, so we'll end it there where you guys find the tracks shift
Shifting.
from that of a bear to that of a rather large humanoid.
And me constantly tapping on his shoulder till next week.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a sore spot.
Cortanus,
Gonna leave a bruise.
you got 7 experience points.
Woo! Level up.
Noxus, you got 8.
Oh, I level up!
Shango, you got 7.
Sweet.
Fike, you got 7.
Cool.
Seao and Erdan, you each got 6.
Alright.
Oh wait,
A
no.
lot of great RP tonight, guys.
Yay.
It was good. It was a really good session.
Yeah, a lot of great RP. So now we'll come to the decision. Do you decide to venture further? Like, you have the information you need to return
Yeah.
to Eskel, but do you
Sure.
decide to venture further into the Parchwood?
Do we decide to get ourselves killed?
But anyway, so we had some people level up, yeah?
Also, yeah. Also,
Yeah,
can I
yeah.
convince people?
Who
Yep.
leveled up?
I did.
Ding.
Noxus,
ding.
Erdan,
Shango.
And me.
Shango, and
Everybody but me, basically, because I missed one session.
I'm done. I'm like 1 point away.
oh, buddy.
That's upsetting.
That always sucks. I'm sorry, man. Hey, at least you know next session you're guaranteed to level up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So 5th level for some of you guys.
Yay.
So as a fighter, you finally get your extra attack,
Yes!
and your proficiency bonus goes up by 1. Shango, are you taking another level in sword?
Yep. Get me them level 3 spells.
So there you go, level 3 spells.
Yep. And we'll be.
I got my first level 3 spell.
Woo!
Yeah. So learn a new one. I'll trade out one of.
Yeah, 55 hit points.
Hit points. Are we rolling hit
Warlock
points, or should we
doesn't
think?
get a ton at 5th level. You get your proficiency bonus to go up, you get a new spell,
Mm-hmm.
and you go to 3rd level
Uh-oh.
spells, and you get a new invocation, though.
You can redo that. You can redo that.
Yeah, Shango, you get to reroll 1s, remember?
Yay!
Ah!
Right, come on.
So, for my
Oh.
You can
spell,
reroll once multiple times.
Yes, roll it again.
Yeah, that's better.
There you go.
so for my spell, I'm gonna take Thunderstep,
Ooh,
but,
okay.
but instead of thunder, I don't know if I want to
Think about it.
flavor
You got-
it for fire, but I'll think about it. It'd be weird if I did.
Flame step?
Flame step. Ooh, what if it was like? How would I do that? Like, what if it was like an explosive step, and instead of it being thunder, it would be like
Like a fireball kind of thing blowing
You're
out.
making up a lot of spells.
maybe.
Well,
No, it would
hold on.
act as the same thing.
Hop into secrets with me real quick.
Okay.
Da-da-dum.
Dum dum dum. Alright, well, they're away. Oh, I actually need to try something. I want to see. Why is that? You guys still hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. For some reason, the muting of my mic does not work anymore.
Wait, are you... Do you have yourself muted on... do you have yourself muted on Roll20 too?
Yeah, I have Roll20 set to broadcast any thing, I think. I think I have it set to only broadcast video.
Do you have another... Are you possibly sending your voice out through your webcam mic instead of the mic that's on your head?
I don't know.
I mean,
Is my webcam on?
if you push the mute button in Discord, it mutes all input. So
Right.
It kind of sounds like it's coming from further away from you, if that's the case.
Like,
Oh, maybe my webcam does have an.
it should.
yeah, most webcams do these
Okay,
days.
that makes sense. Then I was confused.
What kind of webcam is it?
Logitech something, the cheap one.
Logitech C9.
I have a C90.
They
Hold on.
definitely have a mic on them.
We all have cameras and only 3 of us use it. So
I don't have a camera.
It's because not everyone has one that I haven't been using it because I prefer
I mean, do you
if I'm
really wanna see
displaying
me-
people, I'd rather display everybody.
Would you really want to see me in my Reptar onesie?
Yes!
I got my TARDIS Kigurumi.
I mean,
Who wouldn't want to see you in a Reptar one?
Exactly.
Most people at the Domino's place.
Do it,
I'm not
Dan.
kidding. I got a TARDIS Kigurumi.
Oh, I love my Reptar onesie.
Do it, Dan.
So warm.
Do it.
Oh, build a noise reducing mic. Okay.
Just
I
for
guess I need to turn off my webcam mic then.
yeah,
You can just go into Discord and change.
change your source.
The input there. Yeah.
Did everybody roll for their hit points that leveled up?
I have not. I will do that right now.
I've done my hit points and I've taken Shatter. Oh, I gotta get Meta Magic.
Kind of wish I rolled a 1.
Noxus, buddy. You
Nah.
rolled a halfling 1.
Damn.
Well, it's a
You also
30.
get a new invocation, buddy.
Yeah.
If you think about it, you got all the hit points of a squirrel, which is pretty good.
There you go. See?
Squirrels they're pretty vicious.
What invocation are you going to
Yeah,
take?
fucking squirrels.
Oh, that's a fair question. I don't. I kind of want that because I might need it, but I don't think so.
I'm thinking about taking Thirsting Blade, honestly. See, it's between that or Devil's Sight.
Oh, Devil Sight.
'Cause
Devil
I
Sight is
can't
like
fucking
god
see.
tier when it comes to Warlock Invocations.
Yeah, it's like I can't fucking see. And I'm kind of regretting taking Armor of Shadows because I have the Armor of Agatha, so
Well, you could change it now that you leveled up, right?
Yeah, you can change out your invocation.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it so much better.
So you could change out one of your old ones for a new one, and so technically you could get both. But Thirsting Blade, you can attack with your packed weapon twice instead of once. Whenever you take it, yeah, I don't see how you wouldn't take that one.
exactly. So I think I'm gonna take that for sure.
All right, so you take Thirsting Blade, and then if you wanted to switch one of your older ones out for a new one, you can.
Yeah, let me see what we got here. Just to be sure.
And I'm guaranteed an archetype sometime in the future.
Yes,
You'll get there eventually.
Either one or the other.
Am I missing anything?
For Dan, you took a level in
Sorcerer.
Sorcerer. Okay, that's right. You said you're the rest of the way is going to be that,
Sorcerer.
right?
Yep.
That's right. I remember you said that because I listened to things.
So
Learn from your master Shengo in the sorcery.
Yes. Extra attack means so that the legend of the immersion blender continues.
So guys, I could be the only person that can detect magic because I can take Eldritch Sight and it.
Oh,
and
that's
I can
another
cast-
good one.
There you
I
go.
can cast detect magic at will without expending a spell slot.
Oh, it is a paladin spell. It is in there, so
Yeah.
I can do it. I just have to choose not to.
Paladins. Remind me, do paladins prepare spells? Like, or is
They
it
do.
clerics? They do.
They do. Yep.
I am prepped with only spells that will benefit the party.
Alright, that was the end of that.
You can see normally in darkness both magical and non-magical. So so does that mean if somebody casts darkness, I can see in it?
Yep.
Yes.
Ooh, that's pretty
Yep.
boss.
Pretty neat.
That's pretty boss.
That's really nice.
Yeah, warlocks get a lot of good things. I like warlocks a lot.
You know, I've only played. This is like the first magic class I ever played. I played as a son of Poseidon, and the guy flavored it, and I told him I wanted to do that. He's like, "Yeah, be a warlock." I was like, how does that make sense? And he explained it to me. I was like, "Okay," and I fell in love with it. So it's the first magic class I got to play as. So I'm glad I get to go back to it.
Yeah, my first real interaction with anyone in D&D was playing a warlock that I was like, I love your warlock so much. Give me a character.
You know what? I'm gonna take Devil's Sight because that seems pretty baller.
Yes.
Yep.
Good.
And goodbye, Armor of Shadows for now. There may be a day that you come back.
What are you doing over here? What are you doing?
But that is not today. Now, can I do that every time I level up, or is that just when I get an invocation?
When you get new invocations,
Okay.
much like when you learn new spells,
Okay.
you can. Actually, I believe you can do it when you level up. Like this time, you got to pick two because you were getting a new invocation. But when you level up, you can switch out one invocation for another.
Okay, that sounds good.
So you're
You can only
stuck with
do
it
one.
until next time.
Yeah.
Next time on Death Battle. Sorry.
No, you're all good. So how was everyone's day?
Actually, today was not terrible.
Cortanis, yours is easy. You rolled hit points, and
Yep.
you rolled pretty good for your hit points too.
What'd she roll?
Welcome to the Dex tank. It continues.
Cortanis is hardy AF.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she's pretty beefy for a dex. base character.
Dex tank.
Dum dum dum.
I
The
played
immersion blender continues.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I love the Dex fighter so much. It's so nice.
Lakai was a really fun character to play.
That
Oh
was
yeah, I
great.
miss Lakai.
So, if y'all really do miss Lakai, I'm planning on running something. If you guys want to play and have the time to, Lakai will be in that one.
Cool.
Be a little different, but he will still be there.
Are we gonna see Lakai the same way we saw this lady?
What lady?
The druid.
This nice druid lady that we
Face
saw.
down in the dirt.
Face down in the dirt, mauled by a bear.
As long as it's not a
Are you-
Columbo
are you done,
episode.
Dan?
Just
Are you
no
done,
fucking
Dan?
Columbo. I hate that trope so fucking much.
What trope?
I hate the kind of like the stories where it's either like comedy of errors or like the audience is omnipotent but the characters don't know what the fuck happened and the entire thing is just figuring out what happened while you already know. I hate that so much. I have to walk away from television.
No, he will not be dead. He will be alive in this.
That,
You guys want to know what it is? I can chill and hang out and talk to you for a little while.
Or
but-
Dan, what meta magic did you take?
Quicken spell and twin spell.
Ooh.
Quicken and twin.
Twin.
Yeah, twin.
Twin.
Is fun.
Yep.
Twin is the best.
So
Twinning.
fun.
I've always found
Yeah.
like twin and subtle, the combination of those two are amazing.
I remember twinning, quickening, ice knives, and driving my DM crazy. I'm like, oh yeah, deck save, and I hit, and deck save, and I hit, and like, oh, what is this?
It's like, oh, your caster has
Look at that,
counterspell? Fuck you, it's subtle spell. They don't know you cast anything until it happens.
Well, you only get rid of the verbal.
You
don't
get rid of the verbal and the somatic.
No, it says or.
It says and, I'm pretty sure.
You can cast it without any verbal or somatic or oh well, yeah, I guess the way you read it would. Yeah, no.
Semantics.
Without any
Yeah.
somatic or verbal components.
Yep.
My
I
sorcerer
just want to
spammed
hit
the
things in
fuck
the
out of
face and
that.
use my bonus action. I just want to hit things in the face and then use my bonus. I'm
All
very
right, it was an easy level up for a lot of people. So next week you guys have a week to think about what you want to do. Whether you want to go chasing this bear shape-shifting into the Parchwood Forest, or do you want to take the information you got and continue on to the Trist Fields? So
Who wants
we'll
to
see everyone
possibly
next
become
week.
a werebear?
Do we want
We head back.
We're bear.
or do we not?
We head back to Whitestone.
See everybody next week.
Later.
Night,
You
everyone.
want-
Have
Bye.
a good one.
Bye.
Get some sleep.
Yay.
Remember to love each other.
Did you just pull a... Oh, shit. Did you just pull an episode of... Oh, fuck. What was that? With the comedian that would go around really late to places?
Insomniac? with
Insomniac with David Tell.
David Tell. Yes.
I love that show.
Yeah, me too. That's why.
That's why I was wondering if that was a reference.
Yes, it is. It is.
So did you guys